यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरवनचारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरवनचारी Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Srila Guru Deva. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Shri Gauranitai Bhagwan ki, Shri Radha Madhav Bhagwan ki, Shri Gauranitai Mayapur Sashi ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Utama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtiki. So we continue our study of Srimad Bhagavatam, specifically again Dhruva Maharaj's Pastime, Canto 4, Chapter 12, chapter entitled Dhruva Maharaj Goes Back to Godhead. And we did till chapter text 4, and we'll try to see like from text 4 or 5 and see. Let's read the Sanskrit for text 5 and see where we go in the pastime. तद्गच्छ ध्रुवभद्रं ते भगवन्तमधोक्षजं सर्वभूतात्मभावेन सर्वभूतात्मविग्रहम्. Translation: My dear Dhruva, come forward. May the Lord always grace you with good fortune. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is beyond our sensory perception, is the super soul of all living entities, and thus all entities are one, without distinction. Begin therefore to render service unto the transcendental form of the Lord, who is the ultimate shelter of all living entities. So this is Lord Kuvera speaking to Dhruva Maharaj. Lord Kuvera, the Yakshas used to follow him, as we see. See, just beautiful garlands, na? And just a thought on garlands. What Karuna Bhavana is called Scotland Temple, and the garlands are made by devotees. The flowers also grown by devotees in the farm, in the temple farm. And deities garlands, Prabhupada garlands, all made by devotees with love and devotion. Now, see these garlands, they look good and they smell really good. They really carry the fragrance, the smell, very good. And garlands from supermarkets like Tesco, Marks and Spencer's even, and maybe Waitrose if it does, and Sainsbury's and others. Na? From giant supermarkets, say, if we get garlands, they look, they look so beautiful. Or flowers or bouquet, na? The rose looks like a perfect rose. Hmm? But smell, uh, huh? The rose looks like a perfect rose, like it's like a painting, a picture, like so real, so proper. Hmm? Like this is how actually a rose should be. Or those who go into gym, na, into bodybuilding or body weight losing, whichever say, more so I believe bodybuilding say now girls or men, women or men, whosoever they go into gym, right? And there's this thing gym body, this is like a gym body, this is like a gym physique, na? And another is like a natural body, natural build through exercise and things like that. So now those who go into gym, many men and women carry this, have this real strong notion or belief, right, that how a man should look, his physique, biceps and everything, and how a woman should look, everything. So like a proper poster image or this sort of thing. So point being, these garlands, what come from shops and supermarkets and all, they really look so proper. The rose, other flowers, jasmine, whatnot. They like, wow, color wise, texture wise, this is how it should be. Huh? But smell wise, uh, no, no good smell. Nothing comes out of it. Uh, that is like material life. That is like material life. So much in the head. Materials, happiness, material sense gratification, where is it? It is all in contemplation. It is all in the head. Hmm. Hardly anything, any happiness or joy in substance. It's all just in the hand. Oh, holidays, we'll go Europe travel, we'll go cruise, or we'll go where? The sports, football. It's all just in the head. It doesn't stay much, not much substance. And especially if someone is into drinking, I wonder how can one enjoy happiness if one is under the influence of intoxication. You are you are so cut off with reality. How can you enjoy? You forget. And there are people who like, oh wow, that was such a party, I don't even remember anything. Such a great party. And what great party or great fun was it? I don't even remember. Drunk so much. Now, some people drink to socialize and some drink to get drunk. Huh? Some drink just to socialize, but then there are many who they drink to get drunk altogether. Anyway, so the garland made from the temple farm community by devotees with love and devotion. They smell good, look good, everything is very say transcendental about this. And the garlands coming from supermarket, the consciousness is what? Selling consciousness, profit consciousness. That externally it should look good. Externally the packaging, the appearance and all should be very sleek. Yes. Smell wise may not be. So societal life, material life is all in the external. Internal, no. And that is how society, in society love is also based, na, by and large. The the basis of love by and large in society is based on I, in the sense, the vision, in the sense, does she look beautiful to me? Does he look handsome to me? That is the most potent driving factor, right? Based on bodily, like furthermore a bit of status as well, little bit personality, very less nature. Look, people, it's fair to say, na, in society, people are happy to compromise on nature, one's behavior, one's nature, one's say moral status, morality. They are happy to compromise, and to begin with, many may not even look into that as a consideration, nature wise, but they may not compromise so much on the skin or on the bodily looks. Shishikharanta Mayapur Sashi ki jai. So society lives very much on the external, on this external, on all of this external beauty, which is very short-lived. Uh, and Krishna consciousness gives us an opportunity to go into eternal glory, eternal beauty, eternal pastime. We should be aiming for eternity in our life. No? We should be aiming for eternity in this life, not for some short-term saturation or short-term vision or short-term gains. No, and aiming for eternity. This is why spiritual life begins from where when we understand that we are not this body, we are a spirit soul. Just I will read this translation for misidentification. Translation 4, then we'll go in vocation and start a bit, see where it leads us. Misidentification of oneself and others as I and you on the basis of the bodily concept of life is a product of ignorance. So profound, na? So again, this is Lord Kuvera speaking to Dhruva Maharaj. Where rewind a bit, what Dhruva Maharaj went on a good proper fight with the Yakshas, and he got a bit more carried away. Such is the nature of passion, na? Passion means drags us, pulls us, we get carried away. A passionate person will only get carried away. See, a passionate person, how does he act? He will act first and think later. He's so desperate, daring, or so uncontrollable, unresisting to just act, to vent out, to shout, to show anger, or to act, to do something, to say something, to react. And what? Uh, Thinking part later. Oh, why did I say this? Why did I do? Thinking will come later, maybe. Because he's so passionate now, he wants to just bring it out. And a person in the mode of goodness, what will he do? He will think first and act later. He will be more responsive. And how does a person in the mode of ignorance behave? No thinking, no acting. Simple. Let's keep it easy and simple. Nothing to think, nothing to act. Hmm? So, person in the mode of ignorance is like lazy and crazy. Both now, lazy and crazy. Someone who is lazy and someone who is crazy cannot attain anything in life. What to speak of the next life? In this life itself, he cannot attain any happiness. Uh, a person in the mode of passion is very agitative. He's very strong, very burning. He just wants to express. He cannot control, resist. So thinking part will be later. And such is the nature of fight, all this fighting, na, this war. So Dhruva Maharaj, it seems here that he got carried away in the fight. And that is Krishna helping us understand, Dhruva Maharaj through his demeanor himself helping us understand that we shouldn't get carried away. A sadhaka, he can never afford to have any iota of pride in himself. Huh? That I am advanced or I am no such consideration, no such thoughts. He cannot afford to have any iota of pride. And what to speak of thinking that I have made it or wow, I've become so uh, advanced now. No, uh, it's not like Dhruva Maharaj was thinking on those lines. Well, I had darshan of Vishnu, I have made it, I have had it, and all. What possibly can happen to me? Through Dhruva Maharaj, we are trying to understand that we shouldn't get any carried away in practicing Krishna consciousness. And hardly like have we had darshan of the divine couple, what darshan of Gauranita or what. So how can we afford to be any pride, carry any iota of pride? Uh, see, pride is something we shouldn't have at all in as we should be taking pride that I practice Krishna consciousness. This is my honor. This is my beauty. Pride in the sense show off. Anything self obsession that I that thing shouldn't be there. So a sadhaka, how there is no scope for pride in him. Before practicing Krishna consciousness, what right have we got to be pride? Have we got darshan of Krishna yet? Uh-uh. So cannot be proud, right? Because not had the darshan of Krishna. And if someone has actually had darshan of Krishna of Gauranitai, uh, real blessing, uh, real mercy, blessing of Guru Maharaj, then can he actually be any proud? Uh-uh. Even then not. Someone who has been really blessed cannot be proud. Cannot be. The blessings won't come about. And someone who hasn't had any real realization, any deep conviction, realization, experience, mysticism in Krishna consciousness, where is the scope of being proud? But it is another thing that many times or sometimes our ego is sky high or even shatters the sky limits. But if we stay in good association, we'll realize. So, Dhruva Maharaj, again, he had to respond on the call of his brothers. That's and as a he had his duty as a king and all. But that response, perhaps, did it turn into a overreaction or response that went forward? See, funny na or interesting na. Many speakers people speak now what response and reaction even in school college home uni and all like that, that don't react, don't overreact, try to respond and all. Now see in our workings, is it not a bit interesting? Those who work in laboratories, lab and all, or where there is some chemicals and all, what does it say? Hmm. Or yeah, every country pretty much has a team, right? When to rescue someone, there's an emergency team, na? Emergency rescue team, say earthquake coming, some natural disaster. So we have a team available and we do some risk mitigation and all sort of things. So what, like this emergency responsive team or ambulance, or in I think in America they call ER, right? In Europe or in at least in UK they call what A&E, accident and emergency, and in America I believe it is ER, and I think I'm guessing ER is for huh? Emergency room. Okay, many places we see what this responsive unit, not reactive unit. Hmm? With people it is response, with matter it is reaction, chemical reaction or that sort of thing. Na? With matter, it should be reaction, okay, reacted, mm, very instinctive based. But with people, we should be coming out of reaction and going into a responsive state. Then we become more responsible. So our shouldn't be like reacting, we should be responding to situations, responding to call of duty and furthermore. Now, if we observe practicing Krishna consciousness, we will find that all species are living in their natural state except us humans. Except us humans, all other species they are living by the instinct which is natural by their own in their own environment, by their own duties. Even many animals have their mating seasons, right? And they respectfully follow that also. Hmm? They don't cross their nature. Hmm? But we humans, we have been given some free will, and now it depends how if we are utilizing it or misutilizing it. So Dhruva Maharaj he went a bit carried away in the war, and his grandfather Swambhuva Manu came to guide him to realign him, put him to check a bit, to make him help him come with line with reality. And so Dhruva Maharaj was then pacified, and Lord Kuvera also being satisfied and came and speaking now to Dhruva Maharaj and saying what? Misidentification of oneself and others and as I and you on the basis of the bodily concept of life is a product of ignorance. This bodily concept is the cause of repeated birth and death, and it makes us go on continuously in material existence. Uh, So living on bodily concept of life is the sign of ignorance, is a product of ignorance. So what does Bhagavad Gita say? What do we understand? What we are not this body, but we are spirit soul. Hmm? We are not this body. Now, saying we are not this body, we should really consider or check or ask a very profound, real, deep, or uh, pertinent, um, important, significant question. What? If I'm not this body, then which body am I? Does it not make sense to inquire, to ask, to know, to understand? Well, if I'm not this body, then which body am I? Hmm? That is Krishna consciousness. And that mood has to be built up in our sadhana, in our practice, in japa, reading, hearing, chanting, both our seva and seva, within seva is the form also included. Na? Roop and swaroop. Roop meaning form. Swaroop meaning say identity, na? Like identity, Swaroop meaning identity. So within the identity, the form is included. So our meditation should be on both service, hmm, our particular service, our particular role, our particular seva, and the particular form. That has to become the meditation. Uh, Very fascinating. We see Dhruva, Narad Muni's personal realization. He says, first canto, fifth chapter of Shrimad Bhagavatam, text 26, I believe he says, or 27, that the I and Lord are transcendental. Huh? So Narad Muni realizing that I'm not this, I'm a transcendental personality. So we all should always give ourselves that much of say credit that not may not in experience we may not have realized, but even though say scriptures say na we are transcendental, we have a transcendental identity, spiritual form. So this we are not this body is a good motivation. It's definitely, and anything negative is a very good motivation. Anything negative is a good motivation. Fear is such a big motivator. Huh? Fear motivates us so much. So anything negative is a good motivation, but it can never be a sustainable motivation. In Krishna consciousness, there's two things. No, what? Never forget Krishna and always remember Krishna. Never forget Krishna is a healthy motivation. We need that solid, strong motivation. But it can never be a real motivation for us to fall in love with Krishna. Ultimately, elevation of our practice is going more in remembrance, remembering the divine couple. So, Dhruva, Kuverji, Lord Kuver, here he is advising Dhruva Maharaj, hmm, helping him understand his identity, spiritual identity, who he is. Hmm. And practicing Krishna consciousness, we should realize that whatever is happening in my life is an arrangement of Krishna to help me come closer to Him. But that doesn't mean we don't take any initiative or ownership or responsibility or accountability. Hmm? We should then act accordingly. Yes, this is a call of Krishna to help me come closer to Him. Hmm? Okay, let us see. वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराण श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीर धारी कृपां बुद्धिर्य तमहं प्रपद्ये मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम् वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. This Bhagavatam study is not for entertainment. It's not for entertainment or for good fun or for comedy. Also, I don't think so. Any devotee does also giving class. No, it's not to create some entertainment. On hype may be created. Yeah, hype. There's no limit in creating hype in Krishna consciousness. And the only hype that can be sustained in life is this Krishna conscious hype. Hype of Krishna, hype of the of Golok Vrindavan, hype of life in Golok Vrindavan should be created, and that hype can easily sustain itself easily. But it's Bhagavatam studies never for entertainment or speaking and all should never be like for entertainment or to sound good or to look good. One should never consider oneself as a teacher to begin with. Definitely no. One should never ever think from remotely that wow, I'm a teacher, and oh, these are the students. Uh, where are the students? Are they coming? Not coming? Or no, one should never allow any of such thoughts to enter one's consciousness altogether. No. So Bhagavatam study is never for entertainment. It's not to for publicity or to have an audience. See what Prabhupada did now, or what how it should be. Uh, we don't aspire to become Bhagavad Kathakar in the sense. Like it is observed, it is seen through many places in India and outside of India also, those of say Indian origin or what that many people making business out of Shrimad Bhagavatam. That is very low, tremendously low, highly un-Krishna conscious or not pleasing to Krishna. So Bhagavatam is never for this entertainment. It is never to attract students or to make a pool of students and all. Bhagavatam is to relish Krishna Katha, Krishna pastime. And as a means of, then it becomes like as a means of preaching in the sense, what? We should be studying Shrimad Bhagavatam, we should be inspiring others into studying Shrimad Bhagavatam. Na? Many times what is observed in India, there are so many Bhagavad Kathakars. Now what do? They have their uh, clientele. So the clients say, ask them, okay, can you come to our place first week of October and do Bhagavad Katha? So let me see the calendar. Oh, first week of October doesn't suit. Third week of October. Okay, fine. Let's book you third week of October. We'll provide travel arrangement, stay arrangement, maybe some money on top of that. Just as contribution, as charity, as donation. It's not like a fees we are giving you. Fine. And then how many people do you expect and all, and what would you want me to speak on, or you choose or I choose, and mostly they jump straight into the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan and Braj. And what is observed after 1 week of Bhagavatam Katha narration, what happens? Then the speaker, he goes to somewhere else, and the audience, they hardly move in Krishna consciousness. They hardly take into Krishna consciousness. Even before the speaker comes, there's not a shift in one's consciousness. There's not for a shift in one's consciousness, there has to be a lifestyle change. There has to be a complete holistic change. Na? One has to be disciplined in life. Extremely important. Some things are extremely important. What? Cleanliness. One has to be externally clean. Hmm? Internally also, of course, externally. Very important. Punctuality. One should be quite punctual, disciplined or punctual. Uh, uh, Extremely important. And no laziness sort of. Lifestyle changes. One's eating, sleeping, all the recreation habits should change. So, a Bhagavad speaker, he should be glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam and uh, praying that the message, Prabhupada said na, when he went through the Jaladuta ship, Bhagavatam was going and he was just accompanying. So Prabhupada had ultimate faith, conviction in the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, and through that faith, conviction and all, we see now even outside of India, so many sincere souls are taking into the study of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is how it should be, not to sound good or look good, not to consider oneself as a teacher and not to take others as student. So with this hope, prayer, mood, aspiration, that we become servants of Srimad Bhagavatam, we become what do you call like this servants of Srimad Bhagavatam, or we become uh, glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam throughout day in, day out. We further continue our study of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, text 5. Na, come forward, may the Lord always grace you with good fortune. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is beyond our sensory perception, is the super soul of all living entities, and thus all entities are one without distinction. Uh, Begin therefore to render service unto the transcendental form of the Lord, who is the ultimate shelter of all living entities. So, just one question, and may not you need not respond now, but think over it. Say, when one attains knowledge, when one becomes knowledgeable, attains knowledge, when one is in knowledge, what happens? Does he stop discriminating or start discriminating? Here it says, na, in the translation, and thus all living entities are one without distinction. So when one is in knowledge, does he differentiate or discriminate or make distinction, or does he take everyone like as one? Hmm. Like I'll say in Hindi and again try to express myself in English as well. जब कोई ज्ञान में आता है या जब जिसको ज्ञान होता है तो भेद खुल जाता है या भेद ढक जाता है ना भेद means what? This discrimination. So when one is in knowledge, does one stop discriminating or does one start discriminating? Hmm. Of course, if anyone has any thoughts, then one can say then and there, or any addition or any things to ask, share. It's maybe a bit too late to subtract. Text 6. Engage yourself fully, therefore, in the devotional service of the Lord, for only He can deliver us from this entanglement of materialistic existence. Although the Lord is attached to His material potency, He is aloof from her activities. Wow, beautiful, isn't it? Look, Prabhupada's translations, the way he has captured the message, na, and the purpose, how sweet. Although the Lord is attached to his material potency, he is aloof from her activities. Hmm. Blessed is that soul who is unentangled. Blessed who is unentangled. And blessed is that soul who can live aloof, who can be aloof, not in the grip. Everything in this material world is happening by the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What can we conceive in this life? Conceive, inconceivable or conceive. Conceive as in, what does conceive mean? Imagine, know, understand, something like that, right? Uh, What can we fathom or conceive in this life? What workings of this world do we actually know or understand? Hardly any, hardly. But again, sometimes the ego goes a bit high, na? We hardly know nothing. We know nothing as such. But so, uh, Lord Kuvera guiding, helping, instructing Dhruva Maharaj to engage himself fully in the devotional service of the Lord, for only he can deliver us from this entanglement of material existence. Material life is a life of entanglement. Uh, it's very entangling. Every one of us are entangled one way or other. But from now on, we need not be further entangled. At least this much we should do. But this is how a sadhaka is a practitioner who knows how to navigate life, how does he want to navigate life and live life unentangled. And Krishna, he's not, because Krishna is not materially connected, he never gets overwhelmed. And we get so overwhelmed in life, na? See, legal case is one stressful stress in one's life. So any legal subject matters. What is another stress in one's life? Uh, Police situation, na? Court case, legal case, police situation, and what? Medical issue, some health problems. These are all like headache in one's life, na? And we get overwhelmed by any legal. So much so overwhelmed, it may happen, na? Oh, council has given some parking fine or some ticket, na? For crossing the traffic light and all, or over speeding. Hmm. So all these are very overwhelming experience. But if someone who is not materially attached, no overwhelming experience. Just a bit on a cheerier note, let's say, let's just see this subject of death a bit to lighten us up a bit. Um, a comedian, I believe he was a Scottish comedian, beautifully said. What did he say? That I have no. I'm a bit phrasing it, but I hope we get the message. What did he say? That I'm not afraid of that, or I don't mind that. I have no problem with that. It's just that when death comes, I don't want to be there. Hmm. Now, I found it so interesting and it's such a nice thought, na? That yeah, I have no problems with that. What? No problems with that. It's just when death comes, I don't want to be there. So, mm, and this is what Dhruva Maharaj will see in his life. And that will come to each and every one of us. But we don't want to be there. What does that mean? That before we die physically, we have to die materially. Before we die physically. This body is anyways dead matter. Body is anyways dead. So what else do we expect? But before we give up this body, we have to give up material desires. Materially, we should be dying. And when we have given up material desires, when we are materially dead, then when death comes, we won't be there anyways because we have transcended. Hmm? That is spiritual awakening. We must have that spiritual awakening. Everyone has to face that. Everyone is going to see that. Now, someone who, okay, this is a question. See, who can relish life? Who can live life to the full? Yeah, this. Many people say, na, one life, live it to the full. Who can live life to the full? One who is not fear of death. One who has no fear of dying. If we have to die tonight, are we ready? If I see, if I'm very convinced now, well, I have to die one day, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, whenever. When will I die? I can tell when will I die. I practice Krishna consciousness now. I do japa, I know when will I die. And not only that, I can tell you when will you die as well. I can tell that as well. When will you die? You, and you, when will you die? When will we die? Either Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. If not Thursday, then Friday. If not Friday, then Saturday. Otherwise, Sunday for sure. Either of these days. And when? Anytime between these 24 hours now. So, if something is for sure, if something is certain, For sure, why should we be worrying about it? Should we not become friends with that? We will see further as we go in the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj, na? How Dhruva Maharaj became friends with that. We should become friends with that. Na? Srimad Bhagavatam teaches us, Krishna consciousness lifestyle practice teaches us the art of living and the art of leaving as well. Hmm. Some people struggle to say live and leave. Isn't some people sometimes struggle to say? So, Krishna consciousness teaches us the art of living and the art of dying, or the art of living and the art of leaving. Hmm. So, who can, if that is certain, why should we really be worrying about it? We should really, the sooner we make friendship with that, we'll start living life. But why do we worry? Because we are materially overwhelmed. We are not aloof materially. So we worry because we harbor this I, me, and mine heavy material tendency, na? Material identification, which brings so much of material attachment. So, coming back to the question, who can live life to the full? One who is free from the fear of death. Now, many sports and all, na, they say, na, you have to give up the fear of losing. Then you can win, then you can play. Just give up this fear of losing. Fear of losing election, fear of losing audition, fear of losing the sport, the game, and all. Huh? Likewise, us sadhakas, we have to give up this fear of dying. What will happen to me? One who has given up, one who is not at all fear from death, he can live life to the full. And our practice of Krishna consciousness has to come to a point wherein we are waiting for death. We are really waiting for death. We want to die to live a life of eternity. Yeah? Some or many live to die. Isn't it? Many live to die. Isn't it? And die and then get what? Award or tag? Rest in peace. Rest where? Don't know. Huh? Rest in peace. Such a secular thought, na? This rest in peace. Such a secular thought means such a thoughtless thought, I find. What does it mean like rest in peace? Just like, okay, done the job and all, and so easy to put someone's tag, na? Just rest in peace. No revelation of one's identity, one's relation. Where is Krishna in this equation? Where is God in the equation? That, okay, enough of struggle in this life, now you rest in peace. Where? Don't know. With whom? Don't know. Doing what? Don't know. So many live to die, but a Vaishnava sadhaka is hankering, wanting to die, to live eternally with Krishna. That is how our preparation should be. The sooner we make friendship with that, the great, then we can live life to the full. One who has lost the fear, one who has overcome the fear of dying. My Dhruva Maharaj, son of Maharaj Utanpad, we have heard that you are constantly engaged in transcendental loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is text 7. Who is known for his lotus navel. You are therefore worthy to take all benedictions from us. Please therefore ask without hesitation whatever benediction you want from me. So look, Dhruva Maharaj got benediction from Lord Narayan and now he is getting benediction from Kuber as well. Once one becomes a devotee, it's all blessings only what comes in one's life. The great sage Maitra continued, my dear Vidura, when thus asked to accept a benediction from Kuvera, the Yaksharaj, king of the Yakshas, Dhruva Maharaj, that most elevated pure devotee, who was an intelligent and thoughtful king, begged that he might have unflinching faith in and remembrance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For thus a person can cross over the ocean of nescience very easily, although it is very difficult for others to cross. Shishikoranita Mayapur Sashi Ki Jai. Heard of this uh, phrase or expression now? What? Making mountain of a molehill or something like that, na? Uh, Someone whose mind is not controlled, na? Someone whose mind is not peaceful, not controlled, they have this tendency to make a big issue out of a small thing. To make a fire out of a spark or like a of any small thing, magnify it altogether. That's the situation of a uncontrolled mind. But when we chant Hare Krishna, when we practice Krishna consciousness, then all the problems of the world will appear very small. uh, because the problem in world is same material consciousness, material problem throughout. Just packaging is different. It's not like that in a country like, say, for example, Brazil. There is no problem. No, there are problems. Maybe in countries like Germany, UK, Europe, India, there are problems. But just the packaging is different. Problems are same only. What are the problems? Birth, death, old age, disease. Hmm? These are the four real problems. And alongside this, what? The three miseries which we experience from our own body and mind, miseries from other living entities, and miseries from nature. These are the real problems, ongoing. But when we practice Krishna consciousness, then time stops, or we come to our spiritual realization identity. Then we are freeing ourselves from the grip of material calculation, material time, material attachments, and all. The only way out is practicing Krishna consciousness, simple. And within to further simplify, the only way out is devotee association, by associating with devotees. And devotee association should lead us to what? Devotee attachment. Yeah. At least we have to give Krishna that much confidence na, that I'm attached to one devotee. We cannot be attached to like 10, 50, hundreds and hundreds of devotees, no. But at least I'm attached to one devotee with heart and soul, with conviction. Can I bring one person with whom I have no problem? Yes, here is one person in whom I see no fault. And not just that, whom I love dearly. That could be myself say, yes, Krishna, I am yours, and I see no fault in myself, as in, I understand my spiritual identity or spiritual status. Uh, No faults meaning I have no problems with me. So, Dhruva Maharaj is asking this unflinching faith and remembrance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That one who calls out the names of Mahaprabhu, na, simple, tough task, very impossible task become easily achieved. Maybe Prabhupada's light can be turned on and can seen. Prabhupada's light can be turned on and maybe can seen. When one calls out Mahaprabhu's name, then whatever impossible acts and all can be easily attained. Uh, and ignoring or forgetting Mahaprabhu, any simple task can become impossible to do. Okay, any thoughts, questions, or comments? Or it's always very helpful when it's a very receptive audience, and it makes the job so easy. Thus, all entities are one without distinction. Na? All entities are one in spirit, na? In spiritual quality, in the spiritual essence. Unity, na? Entities are one. Unity can only be in the spiritual platform. Unity can never be on material platform. Uh, we might, like a delegation from United Nations, might as well come. What to wanting to some promotion, doing some event, na? Zero hunger. What infrastructure, innovation, development, some other things could also be there, na? And all. And like, yes, we are doing this, we are building this, we are building that, and we are demolishing this and that. But real unity can only be on the spiritual platform. And in order for us to be united, not Manchester United, spiritually united, for us to be united all together, uh, what has to be sought out is the source of our existence. Is the source of our existence. Meaning, there's some political parties as well, right? What? Universal brotherhood or universal sisterhood. See, this universal brotherhood or sisterhood will only come about when we find out who is the universal father. Only when the universal father is known, or there is a experience, a relationship, only then. So all entities are one, meaning what? We all are Krishnas, na? So in spiritual sense, we all are, Brahmaji says, na, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchid Ananda Vigraha. So what? Krishna is Satchid Ananda Vigraha, a body of complete joy, bliss, eternity, all cognizant, all knowledge. And so are we, because we are Krishna's part and parcels. Huh. Krishna is God since eternity, and we are gods. We are Krishnas. So we also, like if we check the properties of a fire and the sparks coming out of the fire, same property. Hmm. Ocean water, ocean, and a cup of water taken from the ocean, same property. Quality wise, same, quantities different. So all entities are one, meaning in spiritual sense, in spiritual unity. We all are one without distinction. Like, without distinction, meaning again what? Normally, we have 10 fingers in the, right? 5 on in each hand, 10 fingers. Now, uh, okay. So we have 10 fingers, right? 5 in each hand. Now, is it, I don't know if actually even one person has all the 5 fingers of same length. How many fingers do we have of same length? Huh, Radhika? Do you have all the 5 fingers of same length? No, no. Huh? How many fingers do we have of same length? None. Leave 5. Do we have any 2 fingers of the same length? Exact same length? No. But how much do we discriminate between the fingers? Oh, little finger, you are of no use, or index or thumb, or this finger is not of no use. No, we don't discriminate, right? Why? Because finger is belonging to the body, to the whole. Huh? We never discriminate. So, likewise, on those lines, all entities are one. Krishna, for Krishna, he loves everyone dearly. But then love is something which can never be imposed on someone. So in love there is choice, there is free will, there is no force. If there is force, then it is not love. So, in that sense, all entities are one spiritually, without distinction. When we understand our spiritual, say, identity or our position, disposition, that we all are Krishnas, and only then we will find uh, universal brotherhood or peace in society. Unless we build our relationship with Krishna, no peace in society. Does this somewhat answer your question? So, to say, na, when one attains knowledge, becomes knowledgeable, does one stop discriminating or does one start discriminating? When one is in knowledge, one actually starts discriminating, not stop. In ignorance, only one does not discriminate. This is in ignorance, people are happy to eat whatever meat or this and that in ignorance. But when one becomes knowledgeable, then he discriminates. Uh, In ignorance only we say, oh no, oh, everyone is one, all are equal. Uh, all are equal in spiritually. But within my body itself, where is the equality? Look, vision also, is it not? If we go to doctor and if I test check my eyesight, will both the vision give the same, both the eyes give the same vision? Huh? We will find some differences. If hearing, both the ears, do they give the same sort of hearing capacity? Someone is more strong on right hand, someone is more strong on left hand, right? So within the body itself, we find like differences. But having these differences, we do not discriminate in the sense we do not become biased or favoritism in that sense. Huh? And we discriminate also that yes, my right left hand is more strong, I will use left hand, not the right hand. So when one is knowledgeable, one actually starts discriminating and one should discriminate. But this discrimination is not like based on bodily identity. So this is why it is not like of a hurtful sort of discrimination. In ignorance only we say everything is one, everyone is one, nothing, all these things. When we someone who goes to vote for elections, does he not discriminate which party? Otherwise, oh, all parties are same. We all vote for one only. Huh? Does this answer your question or something? So I think we are text 7, is it? No, actually, text 9. The son of Idavida, Lord Kuvera, was very pleased and happily he gave Dhruva Maharaj the benediction he wanted. Thereafter, he disappeared from Dhruva Maharaj's presence and Dhruva Maharaj returned to his capital city. As long as he remained at home, Dhruva Maharaj performed many great ceremonial sacrifices in order to please the enjoyer of all sacrifices, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prescribed ceremonial sacrifices are especially meant to please Lord Vishnu, who is the objective of all such sacrifices and who awards the resultant benediction. In life, uh, human life begins when with inquiry, and in all our inquiry we see if what does material life mean. Material life essentially means when the inquiry is all based on what, where is food, where is shelter, where is sense gratification, or where is protection, then that's a material inquiry. Bodily life, where is food, huh? Where is shelter, where is sense gratification, huh? Where is protection. But real inquiry is, who am I? Or Sanatan Goswami asks na Mahaprabhu, who am I? Why am I suffering? Huh? I'm not wanting distress, but why is this distress coming upon me? Hmm? Why are all these material miseries coming upon me? So, real inquiry is when we inquire into the self. Shall we do some kirtan? Kartal will be helpful. Shikaranta Mayapur Sashi ki jai. परम करुणा पहो दुई जन निताई गौर चंद्र परम करुणा पहो दुई जन निताई गौर चंद्र सब अवतार सार शिरोमणि केवल आनंद कंद सब अवतार सार शिरोमणि केवल आनंद कंद भजो भजो भाई चैतन्य निताई सुदृढ़ विश्वास को रे विषय छड़िया सिर से मजिया मुखे बोलो हरि हरि देखो रे भाई त्रिभुवन नाई ए मोने दयाल दाता पशु पाखी जूरे पासाने विदारे सुनी जा रे गुण गाथा देखो रे भाई त्रिभुवन नाई ए मोने दयाल दाता पशु पाखी जूरे पासने विदारे सुनी जार गुण गाथा संसारे माजिया रोहिली पोरिया आर नाही मोर आशा पद नाही अपना करम भुंजाए समान कहो लोचन दास हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Shri Gauranitai Bhagwan ki. So, Dhruva Maharaj rendered devotional service unto the Supreme, the reservoir of everything, with unrelenting force. While carrying out his devotional service to the Lord, he could see that everything is situated in him only, and that he is situated in all living entities. The Lord is called Achyuta because he never fails in his prime duty to give protection to his devotees. Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala, not Gyan Vatsala or Karm Vatsala. Uh, Vatsal, what does Vatsal mean? Loving. Vatsal, loving. Just like parents are loving to their children, no? And all. Caring, kind, loving, dear. So Krishna is Bhakt Vatsal, not Gyan Vatsal or Karam Vatsal or any other Vatsal. Na? So this Lord is called Achyuta because he never fails in his prime duty to give protection to his devotees. Uh, so Krishna looks after his devotees, protects his devotees, and also in the protection or in the struggle, also he protects what's the consciousness of the devotee. The For us to protect the thing that needs protecting is humility. A sadhaka should always protect his humility. Very much, very much we should protect our humility. And to tell you something, there's a criteria for protecting humility or criteria. Or there's one thing, before protecting humility, we must try to earn some humility. Huh? Before protecting humility, we must try to earn some humility. We must try to become humble. Not just like a bumble, but we must become humble and protect humility. So a sadhaka should protect his humility. So Krishna protects, may not be protecting the external, the material bodily covering and externalities, but he protects the consciousness of the sadhaka. Uh, And consciousness is where the love resides, say, or bhakti, na? Bhakti, loving devotional service, where does it reside? It resides in the consciousness of the sadhaka, in the heart of the sadhaka. Heart is where the consciousness, or heart is where our contemplation, our aims, aspiration is, our desires is. Now, this should be our realization, right? Like Dhruva Maharaj's realization. Hmm, What? While carrying out his devotional service to the Lord, he could see that everything is situated in him only and that he is situated in all living entities. This is the only way out. Doesn't matter how many organizations we may set up or how many committees and things to stop racism, to stop discrimination, to stop racial discrimination or to stop unfairness and all. It won't come about until and unless we develop a spiritual vision, until and unless we practice spirituality. Problem is material now, and it can never be fixed materially. A higher consciousness has to be brought in, which is a spiritual consciousness. Only then, when we grow spiritually, what we will realize, there is no problem at all. What you speak of solving, one would realize there is no problem at all. And unless we grow spiritually, we may bring n number of organizations, n number of committees, or n number of ways. We won't solve anything. Like this thing, na? What issue have we resolved in life? Any any one issue? The big issue itself is not resolved, right? Or any small issue? Health related, finance related, economy related, which part, what issue have we resolved in life? None. I don't think so. Any issue. And someone who is spiritually advanced, for him there is no issue. He has only one issue, self introspection, or his only issue is with himself. That I am not becoming Krishna conscious. I believe Srila Prabodhanand Saraswati's prayers, or who's one of the stalwart devotees, Acharya's pure devotee. Vanchito asmi, na samshaya. Vanchit means deprived. Na samshaya means there is no doubt. So I am deprived, I am deprived, I am deprived. There is no doubt of it. Deprived of what? Gaur Prem. Vishwam Gaura Rase Magnam. Hmm? Sparsho Apimam Na Samshaya. That the whole world, the whole universe is endowed with Gaur Ras. Shishikharantai Mayapur Sashi Ki Jai. but within myself I have no tinge of it. I have no trace, I have no slight experience of it. That is humility, that is real humility. So, in the practice of our Krishna consciousness, Krishna should appear so beautiful to us, so extremely beautiful to us. And we should be thinking, we should be genuinely realizing that we don't deserve it, very undeserving. Entering into the temple room, we should be really a bit horrified or embarrassed as well. That's such a sinful me and where I am come or what I am doing. Uh, how I have been tremendously blessed of this divine devotee association. Cannot say. And like again, association, our association has to be transformed into attachment. If association doesn't transform into attachment, then we are not taking good devotee association. Okay, any thoughts, questions, comments, or clarifications? Otherwise, we see next how Dhruva Maharaj is progressing and this chapter coming to a close, say, when it comes to a close, how Dhruva Maharaj becomes friends with that, how does he do friendship with that? Hmm. Such a this he's demonstrating us, right, how to perform bhakti, how to call out to Krishna, how to cry out to Krishna. Hmm. And also demonstrating there is no barrier in anyone's practicing Krishna consciousness. A child as young as Dhruva Maharaj, 5-year old, practicing Krishna consciousness. What is just required is mercy. Our purpose of all our endeavor, sadhana, whatever we are doing, is to attract that mercy of Mahaprabhu. Mm, we don't want to become any knowledgeable or anything of that sort. No. We want to be lovers of Mahaprabhu. That should be the whole purpose, to attract the mercy of Mahaprabhu. Krishna consciousness teaches us how to love Krishna, how to love ourselves, how to love Krishna's devotees. So, on that loving note, we give you peace for tonight and we'll continue maybe tomorrow or whenever next. And we'll see from text 12 onwards. Thank you very much for your kind attention and encouragement and participation. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की, शिल प्रभुपाद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी।